Hi everyone. Yeah, we've got another little telephone to talk about today. Totally different to that Plessy phone I showed. This one tends to be overfilled with electronic bits and pieces, transistors, and that I'll show you that when I take the cover off. This is made by Iskra of Yugoslavia, dated around about the 1976s, and in my opinion I always like to vent my feelings on these phones. Yesterday's one I was not impressed with one little bit. This one's completely opposite. It is well made. Alright, it's basically plastic, but they've used it in such a way as to be quite good. You've got a decent handset, nice little bit of weight, not overweighted, but it's not easy to handle. You've got a nice dial there with pretty colours on there, demonstrating what numbers would be dialed for various things. You've got the Red Cross, fire, police, I think that one is. All different emergency numbers. Nice clean dial. We'll show the insides of the dial. I can take the little cover off. And now let's have a look. We've got the manufacturer's name there, Iskra, and it depicts a spark, because Iskra actually means spark, and it possibly goes back to the early days of radio, where early radio transmission was done by using by a spark transmitter. I won't go into the ins and outs, but it goes back a few years. This happened, I believe, in Germany. Anyhow, they call it an electronic, and I wondered, well, what is going to be so special about this? I noticed one up on eBay. They called it Electrolux, which is a load of rubbish. They obviously looked at the word electronic and thought, oh, it's Electrolux, but it's not. It's electronic. I don't know how rare these are. There's one or two on ASTIC. It's possibly not extremely rare, but it is, as I say, quite a well-made phone. Let me take the case off. Incidentally, this case is held on by 4 little screws, and as I always like to point out, they're seated in a nice brass thing. This one there has started to crack, but it won't be damaged because it's got a metal brass insert when I show it to you. Also, normally show the diagram a bit later, but I noticed there was a diagram in here. I know I can't get it too clear. There's the actual diagram. It looks like a model number ETA 3134. That's obviously the model number. And as you can see, I'm sorry I can't get it too close. It is quite involved with the electrics, or rather the electronics. And I'll show you what I mean when we look a bit closer. Anyway, that's the case, well made. It's nice to see things well made. And also, no, I don't know what that's for. It's obviously stamped out. The case is stamped out for other uses. But this one, as I say, has the name Electronic. Let's look a bit closer inside. I can remove the dial. Incidentally, I think these, I don't know, these might be possible to be used as a wall hanging phone. I think it's possible. Someone out there will know. Let me remove the dial. It's just held in by two little thingamybobs at the back. We can remove the dust cover, and lo and behold, there is the innards of the dial. Very similar in some respects to the American dial, the Western Electric dial I'm thinking of, not the automatic dial. Very similar. Once again, plastic or neoprene, whatever you call it. You've got your two sets of springs, your pulsing springs and your off normals. It looks a nice job actually. The metal work is all nicely machined. You've got a number on there as well. Don't know what that refers to. Can't see anything else written on there. We've got a bell with this sort of unicoil idea. One coil, and the bell is made to adjust. And we like these, or similar to other Iskra phones, they have an adjustment which indicates a bell or a beep, which is when it buzzes, and I'll show you that at the back. Looking at the rest of it, here's what I mean about electronics. It's jam tight with them. Resistors, rectifiers, capacitors. Five transistors. Why does it need all this? I asked myself. I thought at one time perhaps it's a tone generator, but it's not. You've got the normal ringing coil and the bells, so it's not that. It's just a mystery. This is where the cradle switch goes. Presses down, you got a couple of micro switch contacts. Capacitor. Now, what I've noticed, or the lack of it, and this may explain. So before you get on and say, oh, but where is it? There is no transformer or induction coil. There's no induction coil. So I would think that all this is something to do with your anti-side tone induction, done electronically rather than on a transformer windings, which were done for many years. That's the only explanation I can come up with. So no anti-side tone induction coil. All right, telephones will work without those, but they're normally restricted to private systems where the distance between phones is short. Not in this case. This would be used as a normal domestic phone is used in a house. So yeah, that is possibly the answer. We'll have a look at that diagram again. I'm sorry it's so tiny. That's what I would say it is. It's to do with your side tone, and obviously improves the reception and transmission. Anyhow, that is more or less it. Well, I've got to do a couple of little jobs. The lead at the back had been messed up somewhere along the line. They made a bit of a pig's ear of it, so I had to re-terminate it. The nice bit of blue insulating tape. And someone had cut down the side of the little grommet, so I'm going to have to revert back to my good old Araldite and glue that wire into the grommet so that it can be put back. Not a difficult job, but one I'm going to do. I'll have to hold it together then with some insulating tape until it's gone off. And it seems that it should make a good job. As you can see, the cable is loose within the thing, so it looks like it had been messed about with previously. It's got a nice long lead on it. It did end in a funny plug. I've kept all the unusual plugs. The wires used here are brown and white, only on the two wires. It'll be interesting to see the actual bell. It's got like a fat clapper, and if we turn it over, as I said before, doing it gently, we've got the I presume that could be the type, but that's what's on the back. There is your little adjuster for the bell. You've got the bell symbol and the B symbol, holes to let the sound out. Then we've got another manufacturer, ETA. I think that was possibly the original firm of the company. Let's see if I can get it on there a bit better. There we are. ETA. No dates I can see, but from other blurb that I read up, it's possibly, as I say, mid 1970s, 76. They did also, I believe, make a press button version, but this is the good old dial pulse. Anyhow, that's all I've got to say this time. Just left me to put a little bit of glue on there, tidy it up. It all works. I've tried it out. It's all working perfectly. So as I say, it's a little bit different to what is normally shown. Put it back. So there we are. Last little general view. And all those electronics. So it's called electronic, and that is possibly the reason. It has replaced the anti-side tone induction coil and probably improves the sound quality. I wondered at one time whether it was actually loudspeaking, but it's not. There's no extra bits on there to indicate that. So anyhow, thanks again. I see it's nice to see all the coils are always numbered and got various information in. I think it's a cross section shown in copper. It's obviously a single coil. There's possibly 1,000 ohms. Although it's got 1,500 there, so whether that's the ohmage, 1,500 to 14, I don't know. I'm surmising. Anyhow, the cover, which unfortunately broke off one of the little lugs, but I will put it back on. But it keeps the dust out of the dial, and we'll put it back when it's all done. Anyhow, I've said my bits. Thanks again for watching. Sorry if I've been a bit long-winded, but you know me, I do I am often surrounded by hind legs of donkeys. Someone will explain what that means, but in England they say you took the hind legs of a donkey off. I know I do. It's nice. Give me a chance to have a go. Anyhow, thanks again. Thank you. Any comments, please leave, and I'll get back to you. Thank you.